5 days. That's how long I did not train. I did not run. I failed. Not because I chose to rest, not because the plan changed, because my body refused it. And I let it. If you're a man fighting to rebuild after illness, let me ask you this. When your body finally betrays the plan, what is left to keep you moving?
Hi, I'm Cloud. I have lung cancer.
I'm fighting this the Stoic way. This channel is my way of defying this disease, a place to regroup and gather my strength. I'm gonna need you in my corner. Here we will thrive beyond cancer.
I truly pray that someday soon I can run again.
Here's my hard truth about what happens when this body stops. Many men make it about the body. They wait for it to be ready. They negotiate with pain. They call it wisdom. I don't think it is. The men who do not quit have found something the body cannot touch, something outside themselves, something that does not care how you feel this morning. I will show you both. Stay with me tonight. Duty, fortitude, amor fati. Love what is. Tonight, I share the Stoic life lessons I've learned fighting cancer, focused on mental toughness, resilience, and how fortitude is the only option for men like us, refusing to be victims. My brother, this is our fight. Stay with me a few minutes tonight. You have the power to help me reach other men. Share this with any man walking this path. My brother, we are in this together. This is our fight. This is episode 5 of my Forge Miles series. Halfway through my training program, I think I've hit a wall. This is really hard. In this fight, I've made many mistakes. I'll get to that in a little bit. Make sure you stay for that. I want you to know where I have failed this week in my training program, so you may not. And I've also put these principles into a blueprint PDF, self-mastery and recovery. I know when your mind is tired, you need a map. It's in the description. There's a download link. It's free. It's for you. Here is where we start in this episode number 5 of the Forge Miles series. We have survived something that should have killed us. And we have built a plan. We have been committed. And one morning I got up, you got up, and you ran. And then one morning you just stopped and you just didn't. That's what happened to me. 5 days. These past 5 days have been miserable. The silence between you and the road became its own weight, its own challenge. The wound, the pain, and the agony is not the missed days, as I've certainly missed almost a week now of poor training. The pain is what the missed days tell you about yourself, what has told me that maybe the machine is still broken. This machine, my body, this is still broken. I know it's a work in progress. I get it. And again, I will say, I need to be patient with myself. But at the other end of that pull and that tug is maybe the surgery took more than a load. Maybe we are not who we decide to become. I suppose tonight this is where we need to start. The body becomes the project. The body becomes the measure. Every morning, you audit it. Every session, you negotiate with it. You listen for what it will allow. And when it says no, you comply. That's what I did. And I complied for 5 days. Day 1, I woke up and my legs were heavy. My quad, not sore, heavy. I put weights in my ankles. So I told myself, rest is training, so I rested. Day 2, the fatigue was still real. I thought I would get over it by resting a little bit more, and so I did. Day 3, I did not even set the alarm. I told myself I was being intelligent at that point. I was being smug, looking for excuses. Yes, I did. By day 5, I wasn't being intelligent. I was disappearing. I was disappointing myself. Hence this video tonight. This is my journal of these past 5 days have been a failure and misery in my training. This is week 5, by the way. I have 4 more weeks to go before anniversary run, my 10K. And I purposely set my sights for 10K, not even the half marathon that I really wanted to do, because I thought the 10K would be easier. But truth be told, nothing about these trainings these past several weeks have been easy, have been light. They have been challenging. I've really pushed myself. And that's where I'm at today. 5 days worth of nothing to show for. I remember the other day, my daughter practicing her violin in the kitchen, and I walked past by her to get some water. She looked up at me and she asked me, "Hey Dad, did you train today?" She wasn't being accusatory. She was not disappointed. She was just asking. Because in some days, I've actually brought her with me on training runs. She's actually been running quite a few days with me as well in the mornings. And she asked it the way a child would ask, because they're just paying attention, even when you think they're not. I said no. I choked up when I said no. She nodded and went back to her work. I stood there in the kitchen, and the water ran cold over my hands, and I understood something I had been avoiding these past several days. She's watching. My daughter, she's watching. Not the race, not the miles. She is watching whether her father gets back up. That was the moment I stopped negotiating with my body, and I realized something. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." My body is an outside event. It will fail. It will resist. It will bargain. It certainly has these past 5 days. The mind that governs this body, my body, does not have to subscribe to that. A man who waits for the body to be ready will wait forever. The body follows the decision. It does not make it. And here is where men push back. They say, "But you have to listen to your body. Rest is part of training." Yes, that's true. And there's a difference between rest and retreat. You know which one you are choosing. You know it. So here now is where I made my mistake these past few days. I told myself a story. The story was about being responsible, about protecting my body that survived the surgery, the chemotherapy, about not being reckless with the machine that has already been opened and reassembled, so to speak, after the part of my lung was removed. I thought it was a reasonable story. It was also a lie. The truth is, I was afraid not of injuring myself. I was afraid of going out there and finding out the body could not do what I had promised it could. I was afraid the gap between who I said I was becoming and what I could actually do on the road was bigger than I could close before my run on August 26. So I stayed home, and I called it wisdom. The cause internally is this: 5 days of drift. I didn't train, I stopped training. 5 days of the old man moving back in. What the old version of me who negotiated, the one who waits, the one who survived the surgery but forgot what he survived it for. The cost, relationally, my daughter asked if I ran, and I had nothing to show her. That was a painful and necessary lesson, I think. Now you know where I failed. Make no mistake, my friend. I'm not telling you that love for your daughter will eliminate your fatigue. I'm not telling you that duty overrides physiology. I'm telling you something harder than that. I'm telling you that duty reframes the question. When the body says stop, and it will say stop, the untrained man asks, "Can I keep going?" That is a body question. The body will answer honestly. Usually the answer is going to be no. We both know that. The trained man asks a different question. The trained man asks this: who am I doing this for? That question does not live in the legs. It does not live in the lungs. It lives in something the surgery can never touch. So step one, name the person, not abstractly, specifically. I run for my daughter, Not for her future, not for some version of fatherhood I aspire to, for her, and ask the question. When the alarm goes tomorrow and the body resists, I say her name out loud once. That is my anchor. I need to be the father for her, who can provide for her. This is my mission. I will not fail this. Step 2. Reduce the ask. On day 6, I did not try to make up 5 days. I put on the shoes. I walked to the end of the driveway. I ran 1 mile. That was it. 1 mile for her. And let's momentum rebuild itself. Step 3. Let the act speak. I did not tell my daughter I ran. I did not mention it at dinner. I did not need the acknowledgement. The act was between me and the road, and the reason I was on it. The Stoics understood this. It is not that I am brave. It is that I have found something worth more than comfort. You are not running miles. You are building the man your daughter will measure all other men against. You are becoming the standard, not through words, through the act of getting up when the body says, stay down. I am not a man who waits for permission from his own body. Think about the last time you quit something, not because you were done, but because the body gave you a reason and you took it. Who was watching? Because somewhere in your life there is a person paying attention to whether you get back up. They may not say it. They may not even know they are watching. But they are. Pillar number 3, fortify the soul. Honor your duty to others. A fortified soul was not built for isolation. We are born for each other. The men who rebuild fastest are not the ones with the best training plan. They're the ones who stop making recovery about themselves. So, if you forget about everything we talked about today, just remember this. One active deed tonight, one action plan. Before you sleep, write one name. The person you are running for, you are training for. Put it somewhere where you see it tomorrow morning. Not a motivation poster. A name, a face, a reason that has nothing to do with how you feel. The blueprint for healing and recovery self-mastery is my field manual. Download this now. It's in the description. It's free for you. The next episode, the miles are getting longer, and there is a moment on the road I did not expect. If this episode reached you, share it. One man, that is all. One man who needs to hear that the body stopping is not the end of his story. If you find value in my blueprint for healing, the playlist is below. All 3 pillars, 21 principles. I expand every one of them for you. And if you have questions about this journey, about this fight, drop a comment below. Send me a message. Let's keep this conversation going. Brother to brother, man to man, we are not dying on our knees.